Alright guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about marriage because I feel like this is a conversation I've had like 50,000 times this week, so we'll just go on and do a little ramble about it. Alright, boys and girls. No one is ever going to fulfill your desires and your needs. It is impossible. There is no human being on this earth that will ever make you feel desired and beautiful and worthy and accepted and needed and respected all the time. And like, they're not even going to fill it up like a quarter of the way. It's not their job. Not even a little. That's God's job. And like, we need to stop taking God's job and putting it on a human. No man can ever make me feel as beautiful and desired and needed and as loved as they should, because that's God's job. He's my husband. He's my pursuer. He's my romancer. And the same way for guys. No girl is ever going to make you feel as respected and as honored and as needed as God does, because like, that's his job. He's jealous for you. You're his son. You're his daughter. How much does he want to pursue you? And another thing, you're worthy. Like, all of these people, like, I feel like they settle so much on who they want to marry. If the King of Glory pursues you, if Jesus died on the cross for you, like, forget Edward Cullen. Forget him. He didn't die for her. He's a fictional character. Jesus Christ died on the cross for you. That's like, you should be pursuing someone and looking for someone that the only thing that they do is draw you closer to him. When you look in their eyes, when you look in her eyes, when you look in his eyes, the only thing you see is Jesus, and it just draws you so much to them, and it makes you just like, oh my gosh, like every time you're around that person, and just like you sit there and you're like, I need to know Jesus more. I need to know Jesus more, because they should so have that in them. And that's another thing. Like, this is my little theory on marriage, and I know I'm not like married, obviously, but this is what I'm going to say. I feel like men are such an amazing aspect of God's heart, because they, like, you know, God called them to be the providers and the strength and the warrior and the protectors and the ones who are just like the head and the leaders. But then women are much more like the nurturers and the lovers and affectionate and that like intimacy. And like, so you have like, I know this is like the cheesiest application ever, but bear with me. So you have men, and it's like they're this half of God's heart, and then you have women, and they're like this half of God's heart. But when they come together, we're getting to complete God's heart. And I know that's like such a cheesy thing, but bear with me. When I get married, I'm going to get to comprehend and live with a part of God's heart that I don't understand. So why would I settle for someone who didn't really reflect the Lord's heart? Because like, you're worthy of that. You're worthy getting to see so much of God in a person that it makes you like desperate for him. And it's not something that you can do. You can't strive. You can't sit there and go, I need to be better for my future husband. Like, all you need to do is say, God, I need you to fulfill me, and I need you to make me loved. I need you to make me feel respected. I need you to make me feel worthy. Because that's God's job. It's not a man's job. It's not your wife's job. So let God fulfill those desires. And another thing that I think is, honestly, I think it's just crap, is when people constantly are like, marriage is so hard. Like, it's so hard. No, it's not. Sin is hard. Like, when you get aggravated and when you do things like that, that's not their problem. That's your sin. That's your flesh coming out. Because if you really love the person, then you should constantly see the best in them. You should constantly like have a desire to pull out the gold in them. So this is what I'm going to say. You can't do anything. All you can do is rest in the Lord's presence. If you can trust God in every aspect in your life, why is this the one thing you can't trust him with? If he's already pursuing you, if God already wants to marry you, like, you're the bride of Christ. What kind of husband or wife does he want to give you? Hold out. Start praying for them. Don't just settle because you're desperate and everyone else is getting married and you're starting to think you're going crazy. Don't do it. You know, pursue God and let him align your heart with him, and let him fulfill those desires so that he can put someone else that makes you draw that much closer to him, that shows you that much more of his heart. So that's all. Hopefully that encouraged somebody out there. I don't really know. So you guys are awesome, and I will probably have another video at some other point in my life. You guys might get sick of watching these, but hey, whatever. Love you. Bye.